Week number 3 in physics actually brought an introduction to normal physics. We delved into motion, finding out how to read and make motion diagrams. This was interesting to use the motion detectors and find that it can be quite difficult to follow the graph exactly when using the motion detectors. This information will assist in the analysis of our balloon launcher, as well as the construction of the technical instruction manual. There is still a lot to do in this class and to get a grasp of. However, I suppose that it will all come together with time. Aside from using the motion detectors to learn about motion and how to read different types of motion diagrams, we were introduced to Logger Pro and some equations. In practicing the diagrams of position versus time, we did a quiz and verbally explained what was going on and then drew them in our notebooks, as well as velocity, acceleration, and the motion diagram to go with each given position diagram. It is a lot of writing, but is a good way to learn the diagrams. They can be a little difficult to grasp and wrap your mind around, but I am getting there. We then got into groups and discussed the diagrams we got individually and then presented them to our original groups. I learned a good bit about motion and how to determine the motion for a graph or diagram and vice versa. The quiz this week was somewhat frustrating because it was not live. This means that I took it several times in an attempt to get my efforts recorded, unfortunately to no avail. Basically, this week's learning was centered on the diagrams and getting an understanding of motion. I needed to practice an understanding on the diagrams, as it was not clear to me. I still need to practice them and work on deriving one diagram from the other and how they relate to each other. I have also been having difficulty with the video podcasts and need a better understanding of how to do them and to get caught up on them. I guess I'll just keep working on it and trying to learn more about it. I would like to learn more about how to use this information to our benefit in the projects, as we are doing as well in writing the technical instruction manuals. This week was a little better, yet still very frustrating with all the requirements for the class. However, with the introduction to motion came a feeling of learning and some understanding. The project is still coming along and has a daunting feeling for everything that has to be done for it. Things are starting to smooth out some as far as getting in the groove of posting to Twitter and keeping up with the lab books. If things continue, then the coming weeks will get better and better as the class gets further along in the semester and the groove is established.